Good morning, AUK viewers, and welcome to the latest podcast. We've got some breaking news to report to you today, and Don and I are going to discuss the implications. Welcome to Don as well.
Good morning.
So it's the Anglican split. Now, as you know, there's two camps in the Anglican Church, the progressives and the traditionalists, and they can't agree over same-sex marriage or blessings. Because, of course, here in England and Wales, not Scotland and Northern Ireland, because they've been devolved, almost 20 years ago, civil partnerships almost 20 years ago became legal. But same-sex marriage became legal almost 10 years ago. But of course, the church has its own laws. What do you think of that, Don? I think it's outrageous that the church should not abide by the laws of the nation.
Well, I don't know if they want to offer certain services, then that's up to them, I would think. If you're running a fish and chip shop, you can decide what you put on the menu.
Yes, not quite the same as that, is it? We're affecting other people's lifestyles here. Anyway, the Church of England is now facing a breakup of the global Anglican Communion. Now, this is because, historically, the Church of England was a colonizing weapon and it spread around the world, and the adherents to that faith are now clubbed together in a bigger club, not just the Church of England, but the Anglican Communion, which is worldwide. And since that formation in 1867, the Archbishop of Canterbury has taken the role of spiritual leader of the whole worldwide global Anglican Communion of 42 Anglican churches in different nations around the world. Now, he has no formal power, but he has moral authority, and he's seen as the first among equals. Now, a couple of points there. What do you think of his moral authority, Don? This is bestowed by his God, presumably. Should we respect it?
Well, I've long doubted the moral authority of religion. There's the Bible commends genocide and slavery and all these things, so yes. It has no hope at all. But yes. I can quite see that from tradition, the Archbishop of Canterbury carries some weight. It seems that whether you look at the British or the Roman Empire, the religious structure has survived much longer than the actual empire itself.
Yes, and that reminds me of the Roman Catholic Church. That's a similar case, isn't it?
Yeah.
When the Roman Empire failed, the Roman Catholic Church continued. Anyway, the other thing is first among equals. What does that mean?
Well, that's a bit of double talk, isn't it? A bit like the Trinity, to get round a fudge.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, bringing us up to date a bit, the General Synod, the Church of England's lawmaking body, recently voted in favour of offering blessings, not marriages, but blessings to lesbian and gay couples who were previously married or had a civil partnership, because there's this two-tier system now, in law, in the national law. They're not prepared to marry them, but they will bless them, give them God's blessing if they turn up after they've been married or after they have shown that they've got a lasting civil partnership. Again, what do you think? Is that another fudge?
Yes, I think so. But I think the Archbishop has been struggling to find a fudge that works, and it sounds as if he's not getting one.
Yes. His fudge is too soft. So what he's done is he's angered both wings of his church. The progressives claim it doesn't go far enough, doesn't offer full equality, not marriage to gays. And the traditionalists, the conservatives, say that holy matrimony shouldn't be allowed for same-sex couples. It should only be between a man and a woman. That's the opposing sides of this issue. So on February the 18th, the sources close to the conservative Global South Fellowship of Anglican Churches, that's a faction within the Anglican Communion, they said they fully expect the organization to formally dissociate from the Archbishop of Canterbury and the Church of England. And by the 20th of February, archbishops representing 10 of the 42 provinces in the Anglican Communion signed a statement saying they no longer considered Justin Welby to be the leader of the Global Communion. They think the Church of England is now disqualified as their historic mother church. What do you think of that?
Well, that's their right, of course. It's all really of no more interest to me than what happens in my local stamp collecting club, and I don't collect stamps, so I'm fairly neutral about it.
Yes, they're having
but I can see the problem from his point of view. His structure is falling to bits.
It's a playground squabble, isn't it?
Well, it's more than that. It's probably permanent, but the whole thing is bizarre anyhow, because the largely African group that's doing this is working within a religion that was imposed on them.
Yes.
Which they would be much better to reject.
Yes, they adopted it too willingly, didn't they? Naively. Anyway, this is the first time the Archbishop of Canterbury's leadership has been rejected by such a large group of churches. Are we sorry? Do we have sympathy? Not I. Keeping with the subject of sex or gender, for decades, the gender of God has prompted debate within the church. Many call for the use of male pronouns like he and him, and want to refer to our Father. But others want that all to be scrapped in favour of either gender neutral or female alternatives, our Mother. What do you think of that?
Well, the gender of something that doesn't exist is a debate that could go on for a long time.
Indeed, yes. But what's happening here? If they change the tradition of referring to God as he and him with capital H's and as our Father, that would be a departure from centuries of tradition. Nevertheless, bishops are launching a project on gendered language, referencing God in church services later this year. So they're going to consider it. This move has unsurprisingly been criticized by conservatives who have warned that male and female imagery is not interchangeable. And of course, on the other side, liberal Christians have welcomed it, claiming that a theological misreading of God as exclusively male is a driver of much continuing discrimination and sexism against women, much misogyny. I'd agree with that point of view, wouldn't you?
I don't know whether it has or not, really. I think probably that happened for mostly other reasons. But the whole argument seems to be somewhat of a fantasy. I don't know why, but I'm reminded of a discussion among pilots who said that if God had intended women to fly, he would have made the sky pink. But And then I remember on the occasion when I first heard that, one of the lady pilots present said, "Oh, would she?"
Yes, I love that. Of course, it is pink at certain times of day, so maybe that's when women should take flight.
Maybe so.
Yes. Anyway, this has emerged. This story has emerged because a written question has been submitted to the Liturgical Commission, which is another arm of the Anglican Church. It's the arm that prepares and promotes the forms of service and religious worship. In other words, it's the script writers in the church. And also, this document has been submitted to the General Synod, the lawmaking body. So that is moving, isn't it? There's progress being made.
You would have thought they'd have all the scripts written by now.
You would, yes. Well, unfortunately, they turn out to be, they've become out of date and they need revising. This is their problem. So, of course, any permanent changes or rewriting of the scriptures with gendered language into non-gendered language of some sort, that would have to be agreed by a future meeting of the whole synod, a gathering of bishops from around the world. Do you know, it makes me wonder whether they're just paddling their own canoe up the river of irrelevance.
Well, I think so, because it's it really doesn't affect me much, and it doesn't affect many people because less and less people are adhering to the Church of England.
Yes.
So it's a small club and they can make the rules as they like.
Yes, yes. And fizzle out gracefully. Well, I think we've done that to death, Don. So thank you very much for your contributions. I'll play the outro now. Thank you. Bye-bye.